Okay. Hi, good evening. This is the News Charter School Board of Directors meeting on August 22nd, 2023. It's now 6 p.m. and I'm going to do the roll call to establish a quorum. Start with Nicole Booker, Jason Gipe,
Here.
Jane Jackson,
Here.
Jeremy Pierce,
Here.
Lindsay Spain,
Here.
Benji Woodard,
Here.
and Paul Worley. I see Paul. Okay, Paul's here. Having established a quorum, we'll now move into the reading of our ethics statement. Conflicts of interest reminder per NCGS 138A-15E. Board members are reminded that it is our duty to avoid conflicts of interest and appearance of conflicts of interest as we handle the work of the board. Does any member of the board know of any conflict of interest or any appearance of conflict with respect to any matters coming before us at this meeting? If so, please state them for the record. Hearing none, if during the course of the meeting you become aware of an actual or apparent conflict of interest, please bring the matter to the attention of the chair of the meeting. It will then be your duty to abstain from participating in discussion on the matter and from voting on the matter. The next item on our agenda is the approval of our June minutes. It looks like I see it's on the agenda for the March and April meeting minutes approval, but I believe we have already approved those. So this would be for our June minutes approval. And those minutes were actually put into the June folder, it looks like, for the June 27th meeting. And it looks like Nicole, I think Nicole has joined us now. Nicole, are you there?
Yes, for some reason my camera is telling me it's not working. I'll work on it, but we'll see.
That's okay. So we were just looking at the minutes. On the agenda, it says the approval of the March and April 2023 meeting minutes. But I think we approved those. So this would be for the June 27th meeting minutes.
Yes, I'm sorry. That's a typo.
That's okay. Just wanted to clarify. And there was only one thing that I noticed in the meeting minutes that would need a correction. But I guess at this point, what we need to do is entertain a motion to approve the minutes and then have a second, and then we can have discussion on any corrections.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the minutes by Jane Jackson, second by Paul Worley. As far as discussion, I noticed that it was Lindsay was marked as not being present, but I feel that I think she was there at that meeting. Just need to get that corrected.
Okay.
I was present.
Has everyone had a chance to review? The minutes? The minutes must be read aloud silently or in advance of the meeting. So we can read them aloud or silently, or if everyone has read them, then we can go ahead and vote on them. I guess we'll need to make a motion for any corrections.
Make a motion to correct that I was present at the June meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion. I guess technically it's a motion to amend the motion. Motion made by Lindsay Spain, second by Jeremy Pierce, to amend the original motion to approve the minutes with the correction representing that, indicating that Lindsay Spain was actually present at the meeting. we'll go ahead and do a roll call and we'll vote on the vote to amend the initial motion. Nicole Booker,
Aye.
Jason Geip,
Aye.
Jane Jackson,
Aye.
Jeremy Pierce,
Aye.
Lindsey Spain,
Aye.
Benji Woodard,
Aye.
Paul Worley,
Aye.
and I will vote aye as well. Motion carries. So the motion to amend the initial motion has passed. So now we will now vote on the original motion to approve the minutes. Nicole Booker,
Aye.
Jason Geip,
Aye.
Jane Jackson,
Aye.
Jeremy Pierce,
Aye.
Lindsey Spain,
Aye.
Benji Woodard,
Aye.
Paul Worley,
Aye.
and I will vote aye as well. Motion carries and the minutes are approved. The next item is public comment. Brad, do we have anyone for public comment?
Not right at this second, but like I said, there's about a 30-second lag from what you're saying and it being broadcast. So give me
Okay.
just a minute and I'll interrupt if somebody comes in.
Okay. I'll keep moving forward, and if we have any public comment, let me know, please.
I'll raise my hand.
Okay. We do not have any guest discourse this evening. Dr. Blackwell, do we have any correspondence from our authorizer?
No, we do not. But I do anticipate any day finding out what the Office of Charter Schools is going to recommend for our charter renewal. We're expecting that any day. So,
All right, then we'll move into our superintendent report.
okay, very good. Good evening, everybody. I have 3 things I want to share with you this evening. One is the current status of the average daily membership, which is our total student population for the 23-24 school year as of today. I also want to share with you some student withdrawal data, and I'll speak very briefly about the engagement survey data debrief that I did with our staff. So I'm going to see, can you all see this? Yes. Okay, I know it's small. Brad, how do I make this bigger?
Right there.
Does that help? Yes? Okay. So we budgeted for 935 students at a per pupil allotment of $6,429 for an anticipated budget of a little over $6 million. So as of today, we have 920 students. We received notice from the state that while we await the budget, which should be forthcoming, I know that the documents are supposed to be shared out the week of the September 4th. Discussions begin, or hopefully voting begins September 11th. We'll have a quicker answer, hopefully. They did tell us to go ahead and increase it by $10. And so at 920 with an increase of $10 per student, we're sitting right now at $5.9 million. So that's a current deficit of $87,815. Now that does exclude any additional EC funding, state and federal grants. We will run our first PMR, which are principals monthly report, on September the 6th, which is day 21. And then we will know the actual enrollment for the budget no later than September 11th. Just as an FYI, last school year, the state increased the ADM, which is the per pupil allotment, by $275. If they do that again, we're going to see a projected increase of $252,992. If they only increase it by $100, 275 is a fantastic number. We're really hoping for that. But if they only increase it by 100, we will make budget at 920 with $6,539 per student. So again, this is all preliminary data. We are still enrolling students, and numbers will be firm and for sharing mid-September. My next piece of information I want to share with you is the student withdrawal data. This was a bit of a hot topic last year just because there was a lot of students who withdrew. And you can see On this document, I have shared with you the past 6 years of withdrawal data at News Charter School. I'm very pleased to say that this past school year was the least amount of withdrawals that we have seen in 5 years. So you can see that there was a pretty stable 18, 19, 19, 20, even 2021, but then the COVID years hit, and there was a significant number of students who withdrew.
Dr. Blackwell, can you put that up on the screen?
Oh, can you not see it?
No, we still see the ADM report.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness. Okay. Can you see-
While yes, we can. Lindsay, did you have a question?
That was my question.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it didn't switch. I guess I must have shared the tab instead of the screen. So anyway, what you have in front of you now is year data by grade level. And then you also have a chart for the total amounts. And you can see that a lot of interesting points here, but mainly just that COVID until this past school year, there was a significant number of student turnover, and we contribute that to a lot of things, but ultimately we're a school of choice and people chose something else. I'm very thankful and excited to share that this past school year, we only had 83 students withdraw by the start of the school year. I'm really excited to share with you that 9th grade number. You can see that over the years, News has struggled to retain students from 8th to 9th grade. And that is continuing to get better as we continue to work to stabilize our program, reduce the turnover, continue the partnership with JCC. And so we've had 83 withdrawals, and I'm very, very excited about that. As a side note, for staff turnover, again, a really lovely number to share with you all. In 21-22, we had 16 vacated positions, and this past summer we had 5. So things are starting to stabilize. Things are starting to be more consistent, and it is very exciting and encouraging to be able to share that with you. I think we're also going to see that trend continue with our test scores as soon as they are released. And the last thing I just want to mention is that I did share with the staff the engagement survey data. I met with them on August the 7th as an entire group. I went through all of the data points with them. I even shared direct quotes from some of the feedback. It was very, very helpful, very encouraging. I now have 15 staff members who want to meet with me in the small groups that was advised on how to get some more in-depth feedback, do some more sense making around some things, and continue to make improvements. So all in all, it's been a great start to the school year. Lots of good things are happening, and I'm excited in September to be able to share more data with you about the engagement survey, particularly what the small groups are able to help contribute to further the discussions. Does anybody have any questions?
Dr. Blackwell, did you say you're meeting one-on-one or you're meeting in small groups with those folks? I was a little confused.
Small groups.
Okay.
Not one-on-one, small groups.
And are those groups, do they represent kind of a, across kind of the K-12 continuum, or?
I have instructional assistants. I have K-5 staff, 6-8 staff, and 9-12 staff. It's been a really lovely array of positions that are being represented in these groups.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Dr. Blackwell? Does that conclude the superintendent's report?
It does.
Okay, moving on to our financial report. Dr. Blackwell.
Hello again. I will share with you that the financial reports are in the drive, the June report and also the July report. I'm going to go ahead and just tell you that both of these are still in flux. The year-end numbers for us to let us know what our final surplus was won't be available for the next 4 weeks or so. So it's projecting that we're going to end the 22-23 school year with about $217,000 in surplus, but that is not accurate. That number was pulled on June 30th, and there were still invoices and payments coming in that needed to be made from that money. So at this point, I do not have a firm year-end number for you all. We still expect it to be a surplus, but it will not be $217,000. So, and then this year, right now, we're operating on a budgeted surplus of $126,000. But again, the state hasn't approved a budget. We're kind of basing everything off of last year's numbers, and we'll have a much better, I hope, picture for you all in September. And at worst case, October, whenever the budget passes. So for right now, we're just kind of in flux.
Any questions for Dr. Blackwell? Okay, we'll move on now to our standing committee reports. Jane, I will turn it over to you for the governance committee.
Thank you. The governance committee didn't officially meet in terms of a full committee meeting, but what we did do in July 10th and July 12th, we did onboarding training for Jeremy and for Lindsay as to prepare them and get them ready to be hardworking board members. And so it went really, really well. It was great. We were able to meet with each of them individually. I hope that they felt that it was helpful and that they were able to ask any questions that they had. And so that was really good. The other thing is that during that training, we did ask each of them which standing committee they would like to participate in. And so Lindsay has asked to join the governance committee, and I'm thrilled to welcome her to that committee. And Jeremy said that he would like to join the financial oversight committee. So I know that Jason will be excited to have Jeremy join him on that committee as well. So that is, oh, Jason raised his hand. All right. Is that, oh, it's a thumbs
No,
up.
I meant to give a
thumbs
thumbs up.
Loading.
Sorry. But yay, Jeremy.
All right. Awesome. So that is the work of the governance committee since our last meeting in June.
Any questions for Jane? Okay, moving on to our financial oversight committee. Jason?
We did not have a chance to meet due to work schedules and vacation schedules. We are scheduling this next month to meet.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, we already had our finance committee report and our risk management committee. Benji?
Risk Management Committee did not meet last month.
Okay, thank you. Facilities committee, did the facilities committee meet?
So I'm not really sure what the facilities committee is. Being completely blunt, I've been meeting with the new charter school facilities board. Do you want me to share about that? I don't know who's on the facilities committee meeting, but I have great things to share. So I'm not sure if I thought this might be the space to it.
Okay, go ahead.
So we met, we had a design meeting on August the 9th with the architect and the design team. They came to campus, they looked around, they got some better ideas of what our needs are. We are working to get a building that is about 25,000 square feet and coming in at roughly $7 million. So we are currently in the throes of putting together all the documents for the USDA loan. It is a magnificent process that is taking tremendous work on everyone's part. We hope to have that done very, very soon to get those things pushed through. We are beginning to receive invoices for some of the soft costs on the schematic design. Some of the design development invoices are starting to come through. So we are going to start to shift some of that reserve money that you all approved for us to use towards this effort in the next few months. So I'll talk about that as it happens, but this is just kind of a heads up that we are going to start shifting some of those funds towards those invoices to get this building put together and open within the next 2 years.
Dr. Blackwell, what was that total budget cost that you said? I heard 25,000 square feet.
7
Or-
million.
7 million.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Any questions for Dr. Blackwell? I think that since Robbie left, we do not have a chair of this committee, of the facilities committee. It's an ad hoc committee. And I think right now Dr. Blackwell is the only member of the committee.
I had put in kind of request to be on the committee, but I don't need the chair too.
Okay, well, we'll add Jason to that committee. Is there anyone that's willing to chair the facilities committee?
Not everybody at once now.
I think, Jason, you kind of are. Sorry.
So, see, Nicole doesn't know I was picking on her earlier, so she's getting her shots in now. All right.
Okay, so it sounds like maybe that we all might need to think about that one. And if anyone has any questions about the facilities committee or what it does, reach out to Dr. Blackwell or me, and then we can, maybe you can learn more about it, and then we can go from there and address that at the next board meeting.
Michelle, can I just add one
Yes.
little thing? So I think one thing just to note, because it is an ad hoc committee, I think that there is an ebb and flow in terms of workload more than the standing committees. Certainly with the building project, I think the ebb will come more than the flow right now, or vice versa, or whatever. But there'll be more work right now, but I don't think it'll last for very long. Once we get through that, then it's really more of just sort of, oversight of the facilities themselves. So just throwing that out there, if that makes a difference to anyone who's considering being on it. If you want to be involved in helping to decide what happens in terms of the new building, this would be the place.
Okay, we'll move on. Strategic Planning Committee.
Speaking of ebb and flow, Strategic Planning Committee did not meet, but we will need to meet next month according to our calendar to try to set the strategic goals, the strategic outcomes, for the school for moving forward. So have not met, but we'll be meeting next month.
Wonderful. Thanks, Benji. Okay, so we have no unfinished business. We have no new business on the agenda. We do not have any ongoing board development and assessment tonight. So at this time, we do need to go into closed session for personnel matters. So I will entertain a motion to go into closed session for personnel discussion pursuant to NC General Statute 143-318.11A6.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to go into closed session for personnel matters made by Jane Jackson, and I believe the second, who made the second? Paul Worley made the second. Okay, I will call roll to vote on the motion. Nicole Booker,
Aye.
Jason Gipe,
Aye.
Jane Jackson,
Aye.
Jeremy Pierce,
Sorry, I had a microphone. Aye.
Lindsay Spain,
Aye.
Benji Woodard,
Aye.
Paul Worley,
Aye.
and I will vote aye as well. So I will see everyone in closed session, and following closed session, we will return to the open meeting. Okay. All right. We are now back in open session. I will entertain a motion to approve the personnel recommendations with the specified approval dates recommended by Dr. Blackwell.
So moved.
We,
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Paul, second by Jason. Is there any discussion? Okay, I'll call the roll. Nicole Booker,
Aye.
Jason Guy,
Aye.
Jane Jackson,
Aye.
Jeremy Pierce,
Aye.
Lindsay Spain,
Aye.
Benji Woodard,
Aye.
Paul Whirling,
Aye.
and I will vote aye as well. And having concluded all of the business on our agenda, this meeting of the News Charter School Board of Directors is adjourned at 6:46 p.m.
Good meeting.
Good night.
Thank you all.
Thank you.